Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. My name is Steven and this is the Storytime channel. Today we have some I Don't Work Here Lady stories, and our first story of the day is by Lexosaurus Rex, Wearing All Black. I am a hairstylist of about 8 years. Almost all of my salons have required me to wear all black for a uniform of sorts, dress code policies. Occasionally, I'll go shopping after work around the mall I work near. Here's some important context. I used to work at a major retail chain. If any of you know, certain things just stay with you when you leave a retail job. One of which, I absolutely cannot see somebody just leave a clothes display a wreck. I have an extreme impulse to just refold whatever it was. Yeah guys, did you know there's real humans that have to clean up your mess in retail? I know, it's shocking. This scenario has happened more than once. I walk into a retail store to do some shopping, see somebody pick up clothing, look at it, throw it down in a crumpled mess. I will try my hardest not to shoot them some side eye as I refold whatever it was. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice someone is lurking behind me. I turn to make eye contact with the shirt crumpler. "Can you help me? Do you know where X item is?" I reply with, I don't work here, sorry." "But you're dressed like you are. I saw your lanyard." The customer is argumentative for some reason. They gesture to me as if I'm not aware of what I look like. I sigh, pointing to my brightly colored Tokidoki lanyard decorated with Pikachu pins. "Nah, these are just my car keys. I don't work here." "Oh, you don't?" Their tone somewhat indicates they're attempting to process this info, or perhaps they're suspicious. Ultimately, they walk away slightly annoyed or perhaps embarrassed. I wish I could count the amount of times a scenario such as this has happened. Even though I am a hairstylist, I suffer from extreme social anxiety outside of work. And honestly, inside of work. There have been a couple of times I'll bring a change of clothes to appear more incognito when I plan to go shopping, in the hopes of avoiding the army of Karens. Reminder, be nice to retail workers and refold the gosh darn displays. So let's put yourself in this situation. If you had to go shopping after working at a job where you had a very clear retail style outfit on, would you bring an extra change of clothes to change into after you were done with your shift? Or would you just take any badges or lanyards off and kind of brave it into the store in the hopes that not very many people would get you confused? Let me know in the comments down below. Our next story is by Deadman Talking 117. I do work here, just not, here. I'll start the story by saying that I've been in some form of customer service for most of the past 45 years. Yep, I'm an old geezer. In all those years, I've had more than a few ridiculous customers, including one man who threatened to kill me because his credit application was turned down. But I've never really had a Karen or Chad, whatever you call a male Karen. Today, I thought it was all about to change. I'm retired and working part-time for a friend who manages a large discount store. Clothing, housewares, home decor, etc. My job is shoes. That's it. I process the hundreds of shoes that they get daily. I spend my days in the back stock room. On days where there aren't a lot of shoes, I'll help run out of the other stock. On this day of days, I was doing just that. I had a big rolling shelf chock full of impulse buys. Those inexpensive items that stores always put up front by the registers. When it happened, there's a longish line of people waiting to check out, and as I'm rearranging a section to work in the new goodies, I hear a guy speaking to me. Nobody ever speaks to me. You could just jump on that open register." Oh, happy day, joy of joys. Today, I finally get me a Karen. And a boy Karen to boot. I've read hundreds of these stories on Reddit, and I am not the shrinking violet that seems to attract them. I'm a jerk. Messing with jerks is my hobby. I smile at him. I can't do that. "How come?" he asks. Well, it's actually the same reason that you can't do it. I don't know how. I'm ready to go. I've waited my whole life for Karen or her husband. Today is my day. This is practically my big O. I'm locked and loaded. The man looks at me for a second. He's thinking of some smart butt comeback. Come on, dude, give me your best shot. Actually, that's a really good reason, he chuckles. Wait, what? But, Mr. Karen, you're supposed to be insane. What the freak? Now I gotta regroup. I point to the 3 or 4 young ladies who are cashiering. They only have the young pretty girls up front. They usually just keep the ugly old dude in the back. But I escaped, I told him. He laughs again. That's a really good policy. As an ugly old dude myself, I'd much rather get checked out by pretty young girls than by another old guy. He gets called up next. Have a great rest of your day, he says as he heads over to one of the pretty girls. Well, crap. So today's not my day. Darn you, nice old dude. I know you're out there, Mr. or Miss Karen, and I'm waiting. You know, I don't think anybody in their right mind should be this excited to see a Karen in the wild. I don't think it's nearly as fun as it seems to be. I guess they're trying to make the most of it. Sadly, they weren't able to connect with one. To be fair, that's probably just about the best attitude you can have in any kind of retail environment though, so very clearly OP was going to survive those 45 years in customer service. I'm just surprised that they went 45 years without having any direct contact with a Karen. How do you go 45 years and never have contact with a Karen, even if it's a Karen before they were labeled Karens? It takes some special stamina to survive that long in customer service. And another story by Deadman Talking 117, my close encounter of the Karen kind. I debated about posting this story. It's not really my story and no big satisfying ending, but it's my only Karen adjacent story. As I said in a different post, I've been denied an actual Karen encounter, so I have to leech off somebody else's Karen. After work one day, I stopped by Wally World to get some very important thing. But this was 20 to 25 years ago, so no idea what it was. But since I was in the mart, it must have been important cause I hate that place. My work outfit was pretty generic. Blue polo type shirt, black pants, no company ID at all. As I'm passing by an aisle near the electronics section, I hear a woman witching up a storm. I peek down the aisle and see some middle-aged hag chewing out what looks like a 20-year-old kinda goth-looking girl. The girl isn't saying a word, just staring at the hag. I kind of ease on by cause I'm nosy and I want to eavesdrop. Apparently, this girl is lazy, rude, disrespectful, a horrible employee who should be fired. But as I pass, hag turns to me. Are you her boss? She huffs. Ma'am, was the only thing I said. You need to discipline your employees. This one refused to help me. She's rude and lazy, blah blah. She's really going off. I look at this poor girl. She just looks really confused more than anything else, and of course, upset. I tell the hag, okay ma'am, if you'll please wait right here, I'll be back in a few minutes. To the girl, I say, come with me. The hag seriously just folded her arms in a gotcha now witch stance. I wave the girl to follow me, and she does. The girl says, I don't work here. I tried to tell her that, but she told me to get something out of the back. I didn't think you would want some random customer in your stock room. I just want to get these headphones and leave. She seems like she's about to cry. I know, I told her. I don't work here either. She looked stunned. I thought you were a manager here or something. I thought I was in some kind of trouble. Nope, I was just passing by, I said. So I walked her up to the registers and waited for her to buy her headphones. Then walked her out. She thanks me and drives off. I didn't even look for whatever it was I had gone there for. I didn't feel like seeing the hag again and certainly didn't feel like hiking the 10 miles back through the store. As far as I know, the hag is still waiting for me to come back. Honestly, knowing how a lot of Karens in these stories act, they probably could have wasted maybe 30 minutes to an hour and then she's gonna go complain to an actual manager about the bad employee and the bad manager and waste even more time. I bet this directly caused that lady to waste a good chunk of her afternoon. And our final story of the day is by the quiet familiar, Touched by Satan. I've worked in retail/customer service positions my whole life and frequently get mistaken for an employee when I'm not. I've gotten used to it, and for the most part, I understand it. Oftentimes, it happens when I'm running errands after work, in black uniform slacks and the basic shirts I wear underneath my work logo embroidered button-downs. I also carry around a large keyring of jingly keys. I can't really blame people under those circumstances. Anyway, here is my most recent interaction for your, hopefully, enjoyment. I was shopping at a large chain pharmacy on an unusual mission to spend a $400 health benefit card that was about to expire. It only worked on certain items, so I was having to spend a decent amount of time finding things that qualified, that my household could actually use. Out of the corner of my eye, I occasionally kept spotting the same little old lady. Over and over, I was catching glances of her peering down aisles at me. I assumed because of my outfit that day. It was my day off and I was wearing my punk rock adjacent street clothing. I'm used to stares and glares, even though my style has toned down with age. I paid her no mind and kept shopping. About 45 minutes into my mission, my cart was nearly full, and I was focused on reading fine print ingredients on some product. I hear someone's throat clear. I look up and see the little old lady. She looks me up and down several times. I have my hair in a messy rat's nest ponytail on top of my head, black and white striped drain pipe jeans, Doc Martens, and a black t-shirt with "Touched by Satan" in large print and an image of Satan touching someone on the shoulder with a speech bubble saying, "Tag, you're it," causing them to burst into flames. I push my glasses back up my nose and look at her. She stares at my shirt. I stare back at her. She adjusts her glasses, clears her throat again, and raises her eyes to meet mine. We make prolonged, awkward eye contact. I'm silent, internally flinching, expecting to get backlash about my shirt, and finally she says, "Do you work here?" I am completely dumbfounded. No, I don't. "Oh, that's… I thought you worked here since you have a card filled with so much… I just was hoping for some help finding laundry detergent. I'm sorry." She pursed her lips and looked puzzled and embarrassed. Well, I don't work here, but I do shop here often, so I know where it is. Follow me, I'll show you." She made a sound like she was going to protest, but I strode off with confidence to lead her to the detergent. She followed. I pointed out the detergent section once we were in eyeshot. After she spotted it, she smiled warmly back at me and said, "Thank you, sweetie. You have a good day." I wished her the same and went back to finish my shopping. After a 15+ years of getting grief over my clothing choices, this confusing interaction warmed my heart. Hopefully, it warms one or two hearts here on Reddit. Thanks for reading. I'm just trying to understand in what world anybody walks up to another person that has their hair in a messy rat's nest ponytail, black and white striped drain pipe jeans, Doc Martens, and a black t-shirt with "Touched by Satan" on it, with a whole literal graphic of Satan touching somebody on the shoulder, bursting them into flames. I mean, I understand it was a little old lady, and obviously I'm willing to overlook that, but it still seems pretty darn peculiar to me. OP also attached an image of the shirt's graphic, and when you look at it, it very clearly is not a shirt that an employee for any retail store would ever be caught wearing lest they want to be fired from their job. Maybe, in reality, this is a very cool and rad grandma that just is completely down to clown with darker graphic type stuff like what OP was wearing. Maybe there was actually a sign of, gasp, personal growth. We all love a good personal growth story and a non-judgmental story. In the end, non-judgmental. And they got their laundry detergent, so I'm happy. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So if you have a favorite story of the day, let me know which story and why in the comments down below. But besides that, if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like. And if you haven't, subscribe and turn notifications on so you'll never miss an upcoming video. No matter what you do, whether it's just viewing the video, liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, I appreciate the heck out of it. Every little thing that you do helps the channel grow that much more, and I can't thank you enough for it. So, until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll be right here next time on the Storytime channel.